This video is a twofer, not to be confused with a two-for. It's what we Canadians call a case of beer. No, it's a 2-for-1. I'm covering off two contests in this video. Robert's on my turntable is doing his 4 years in the VC contest, and Jeff Whitcher is doing his 3,000 subs contest. Stay tuned for both. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. Here I am, day 6 of COVID. Feel pretty good actually. Almost 100%. So hopefully I can test negative in the next couple of days and get on with life. And my wife's feeling better too, which is great. As I mentioned off the top, I'm going to cover off two contests today. I don't do a ton of contests these days, but both of these channels are ones that I'm a big fan of and love to support both of these guys because I think they're both wonderful. Jeff Whitcher is doing his 3,000 subs contest because he just reached that milestone. Hats off to you, sir. That's incredible. I'm never going to get there. I'm struggling to get to 1,000. That would be the wonderful goal. And while we're on the subject of that, for those of you that are watching that don't subscribe, maybe hit that subscribe button, see if you can help me get up to 1,000. I know that's weird. I don't ever ask for subs. But anyway, to celebrate Jeff Whitcher's contest, and I will leave a link to Jeff's contest. If you haven't checked out his vinyl community channel, please do. Jeff is probably the most creative guy. He comes up with some incredible ideas for videos. He's entertaining as hell, knowledgeable as hell. He's got some good album deep dives. He's done this cool dumpster dive series. Check out Jeff. He's awesome. What Jeff wants us to do to celebrate 3,000 is to show 3 things we've never shown before, and preferably on 3 different formats. I think I can do that. So here we go. The first thing that I'm going to show, a vinyl record, obviously. I think this one has an interesting story behind it. This is a band called Showdown, and this is their album, Welcome to the Rodeo. So this came out in 1980. Showdown was a country and western band from Alberta, around Edmonton somewhere. Very country. I couldn't give 2 shits about country music. But this is why I bought it. If you see what it says there, there's the little pre-printed sort of height badge. The rodeo song recommended for adult audiences only. So I'd never heard of Showdown before, but growing up in grade school, like grade 6, I think so my best friend and I, Graham, we had another friend, Ron. Ron was a little crazy. But Ron would always be walking around singing this song that went, it's 40 below and I don't give a fuck, got a heater in my truck and I'm off to the rodeo. It goes on and on. And we thought it was just some dumb thing that he made up and never thought anything of it. Fast forward to when I was 20, 21. I was working at Canadian Tire, which is a hardware store here. When I was in university, I was out at the hot dog cart at lunch one day, getting a hot dog. One of my buddies that I was working with, he was an older guy in our automotive department. He starts singing, it's 40 below and I don't give a fuck, got a heater in my truck, I'm off to the rodeo. And I said, holy shit, Paul, is that a real song? He goes, of course, that's the rodeo song by Showdown. Blew me away. I didn't, for almost 20 years, I didn't know that was a real song. You gotta remember, this is before the internet, right? We're talking the 90s here. So I eventually stumbled across this at a record show in like $1 bid, and I had to buy it so that my buddy Graham and I could play it and just have a hell of a laugh. So the rodeo song by Showdown. Second thing I'm going to show is a CD. I still have a lot of CDs. I don't buy CDs, but This is one I bought back in '09 when it came out because it's only ever been available on CD. This is a band called the Skydiggers. I love the Skydiggers. They're a roots rock, folk rock band from Toronto, and have been around for 30 some odd years. This is kind of like their greatest hits retrospective up to this time. Many of the songs that are on here from earlier in their career were re-recorded for this because, if I understand correctly, the masters had long been lost or destroyed or something had happened. So it's a modern re-recording of all their hits up to that point. Always loved this band, and funny enough, a friend of mine from high school became their drummer, 15 years into their career, and still is their drummer to this day. His name's Noel Webb. So this is a great folk rock, roots rock, kind of folky retrospective. There are some amazing songs in here. The Skydiggers did have a successful hit on Much Music back in the late 90s. It was a song called I Will Give You Everything. It's probably the only one that folks would recognize, but they have some other amazing songs in here. 80 Odd Hours, A Penny More, Slow Burning Fire, The Truth About Us, which is what this is called. Another great song, Radio Waves. Everything on here is wonderful. I really hope that someday they put this out on vinyl. And my third format, and the third thing that I have never shown before, I'm a big U2 fan, and while this looks like a CD, it's actually a DVD. This is called U2 Go Home, live from Slane Castle in Ireland. Huge U2 fan. Huge fan of live performances. Huge fan of live performances by U2, because I think they're an incredible band. This was filmed on the 1st of September 2001 at Slane Castle. 19 songs in here. So this would have been, based on the track listing, this would have been on the Elevation tour, because you have Elevation, Beautiful Day, Walk On. So from the Elevation tour, this is a hell of a great concert film. Again, I wish this put this out just on vinyl. I don't really need the video. Just put it on vinyl for me. But nevertheless, because I'm a U2 completist, this is a fantastic live show on DVD. Jeff, congratulations on the 3,000 milestone. That's fantastic. So, Robert's on my turntable. Fellow Canadian, lives a couple hours down the highway from me. Robert's a great guy. One of the first people to support me as a newcomer to the vinyl community almost 2 years ago now. It's crazy to think I've been doing this almost 2 years. But I think Robert has a great channel. I love a lot of the stuff that he shows. He's a nice man. So obviously I'm going to do Robert's contest. What Robert wants us to do to celebrate his 4 years in the VC is to show an album, the fourth album by 4 different bands, and talk a little bit about those albums. That's easy to do. So here we go. I'm going to start with the obvious no-brainer. Beatles for Sale. Their 4th album in the UK. This is an album that generally doesn't get a lot of appreciation. This was in the midst of in between 2 world tours, and they were sort of burnt out. And as a result, there's a little more reliance on covers than normal. So Rock and Roll Music by Chuck Berry, Mr. Moonlight, Kansas City, Words of Love, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. A lot more covers than they would normally. And a lot of folks think some of the originals on here are a little lacking. I personally love this album. If I take a look at their early catalog, this ranks very high for me. I like it way better than Hard Day's Night. I think this is a nice balance. I like the covers because it to me, this almost feels like a sort of a return to their roots, sort of their Hamburg early stage days when it was a lot of American R&B covers. So I happen to love this. And I love No Reply and I'm a Loser. Like that sort of depressing opening to this album, I just think is fantastic. This is my UK mono first pressing. So I was fortunate enough to have one of these. I have almost all of my UK first pressings. There's just a couple I'm missing, but still sounds fantastic, and I love having the original artifact of this album. Okay, Canadian content, because I always throw some of that in. This is a guy that I talk about frequently. This is Matt Mays. This is his fourth album called Terminal Romance. This came out in 2008. This is Matt's fourth album, his second with the backing band El Torpedo, which disbanded after this album. Jay Smith and Adam Baldwin from El Torpedo stayed with Matt when El Torpedo disbanded. Adam is still with him today. Unfortunately, Jay Smith took his own life several years ago. I've told that story before. It's pretty tragic. This is an absolutely phenomenal rock album. There was a couple singles off here, Tall Trees and I think Building a Boat. I don't really remember, but the title track is fantastic. I think Stand and Deliver is probably my favorite, but just a solid rock song. This was nominated for a bunch of East Coast Music Awards. I don't think it won any, but just a fantastic record. There's Matt right there. There's Jay, the guy that took his own life. Fantastic record. Didn't originally see release on vinyl till about 10 years ago, and this includes a bonus 7-inch single of Long Since Gone and Get Lucky, which you can only get with the album. Fourth album by another band I absolutely love, Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Great rock band from Vermont. Grace has gone solo since then, and not nearly as good as she was with the Nocturnals. Concert Buddy and I did a whole episode about this on the Vinyl Community podcast. There's a video for it on my channel if you want to check it out. This is their fourth and sadly final album. It's called The Lion, the Beast, the Beat. It came out in 2012. I saw them on this tour and knocked my socks off. They were phenomenal. I love this band. Not a big fan of Grace solo, but when she was with the Nocturnals, they were amazing. The title track, The Lion, the Beast, the Beat, is anthemic. Just starts with just a bass drum, and it just builds into this just cacophony of rock and roll, and it's phenomenal. This is produced by Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys, and it definitely has his fingerprints on it, but it's just a phenomenal. I call them kind of like a 70s blues rock kind of sound, and that's what it is. Phenomenal. The Lion, the Beast, the Beat by Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. And lastly, of course, Lost Together by Blue Rodeo, the Canadian roots rock institution. This is came out in 2012, came out in 1992. This is the 2012 pressing, which was the only time it was available in North America on vinyl, but I'm not going to show this one. I'm going to show this one. This is the incredibly rare European pressing from 1992. I don't know why it was only ever pressed in Europe and they waited 20 years to press it in Canada. I have no idea. But I'd been looking for this for years, and a wonderful viewer in Switzerland sent this to me. Thank you. This is the first album. It's the fourth album in their catalog. The first with Glenn Milcham taking over on drums. He was their third drummer. He's been their drummer ever since then. Fantastic. Lost Together is sort of Blue Rodeo's signature song. They close every single concert with it, and the opener comes out with them, and they perform it together. Some other good. Rain Down on Me was a hit on here as well, but Lost Together, the title track, is just an absolute staple of Canadian music. There you go. Happy anniversary, Robert. Congratulations. 4 years. That's incredible. I'm coming up on 2 myself, so I can't imagine that I can think of 4 years worth of videos, but cross that bridge when I get to it. Happy anniversary, and congratulations, Jeff Whitcher, on your milestone as well. Those are my contest entries, guys. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.